Well, good morning, everybody. I just happened to remember my celery that I put in there to root. Look at the roots on that. Look at that. I think I'm going to take it outside this morning and put it in one of my pots. And I'm also going to plant a few more flowers in the pots that I had set up, or that I've already planted some in. But we got to go out here and get something to dig with, my trowel. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and get this celery put in a pot. I've already been out here this morning and opened up the greenhouse. And you can see, even though my seedlings are still in the greenhouse, they're getting plenty of sun. That sun comes in on them. But it keeps that really hot afternoon sun from getting on them. My tomato plants are looking good down there. Some of them are starting to put out even more leaves. Most of them just have the two, but there's one right there that's starting to put out more than just two. So they're looking good. And like I said, I reseeded some of this, and I see one's coming up back there at the very back. So I'll have lettuce. And if they don't work, I'll plant more. Yeah, I need to get this trowel over here. Take it around here with me when I go. And it's supposed to get down to like 37 in a few more days. And look at there. I do believe I got a potato coming up in there. And I noticed over here in my other pots, my tubs that I just set up, I got potatoes coming up. So I'm debating now whether to leave them in one tote, add dirt, or pull it up. Look at there. That's potatoes coming up from the potato peelings I put in the compost. And there's one coming up right there. And that's coming up from the compost. And it was just potato peelings. So all you have to have is a little smig of a piece of a potato and it will sprout. Look at that. Looks like a big old elephant ear. Yeah, my concrete dried real good. And thank God it ended up being level. But I still got to get more concrete. But see there? If you can see the water level in there, it's level. It's pretty level. But I'm going to put a few more seed in some of these pots right here. Well, let's go plant our celery first. And then we'll deal with the seeds later. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in put all this stuff down I got in my. I'm going to put it in this pot down here. Because it's already fixed. It's already got wood chips there. All I got to do is dig a hole in the center and plant it. Because that was all done last year. Well, the year before. I kept putting wood chips and compost and other stuff in there. I just want to make sure that I get a lot of dirt around the roots. Put the wood chips on the top. And I'm hoping I got enough roots on there that it'll do good. And I'm just going to water it in just a tiny bit. And there we got our first celery. guess when it gets down to the 37 so this week or next week, I'll cover it up with something. I'll just set a pot over it, on top of it. And look at there at my little broccolis. And I got a zinnia coming up right there, because I threw some flower seed in here. So I was hoping some of the seed would come up. Take a chair out here so I have something to put the camera on. Yeah, I think that concrete's going to work real good under that. Because it ended up level. But like I said, I need to get another couple of bags or several bags and go ahead and finish putting more around these other pots. Just leave an indentation or a hole there to set the pot down in. And I think we'll have it made. And again, I'm here at the... Yeah, there's just a couple of spots that I was going to put a few more. I guess I better put those in my pocket because the wind's about to blow them away. Put them in my pocket till I need them so I don't have to go chasing them across the yard. Wobbly. Blow my camera over. And I probably don't have to do this. I've got one or two coming up in there already. Yeah, it don't usually take many seed, but some of these seeds were kind of iffy. So I'm just putting more seeds in some of the pots that there's not anything coming up yet. And these are all seeds that I had saved. Saved them from last year. My little pods are not even broken apart in this bag of seeds. But they're coming up in most of them. As long as it don't get so cold it kills the little plants before they have time to do anything. But I found some other seeds that I've had. I got like columbine. That has a real pretty flower. And asylum, or whatever they call it. It's like a white flower that's really pretty. I'm going to put some of those seed in there. And oh, there's my little buddy. Yeah, there's my little buddy. I got white ones, I got purple. And these are little seeds, so they don't even have to be covered up, really. Well, he took off. I don't know where he went. Some white ones in there. I tried planting those in the yard one year and they just didn't do too good. They tried to come up and grow, but they just didn't work. So I decided this year to put them in a pot. And I got red poppies, more marigolds. Let's try some red poppies in here. And again, these seeds are so small, and basically you can, I mean, look how small these seeds are. I don't know if you can see them without me turning my hand over too far. Basically, when I water these, it'll wash the little seed right down in the dirt. So but yeah, I need to get me some more concrete to finish my bird bath platform. Let's go over here. And I did want to check on my moonflowers. Look at there. There's more coming up. So I'll have plenty of moonflowers this year. There's one coming up right there. And look at there. There's one coming up right there. That's the first one on the back side. I don't know if you can see that. That one little leaf right there. That's a moonflower plant coming up. So it looks like maybe I'll have something that will live and come up in this poor rock garden every year. There's one there. One over there. So I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of them popped up out of the ground so far. So that's good. And I'm dragging my chair so I can get the camera over here. Like I said, I've ordered another tripod. It'll be taller, so hopefully that's going to work better. Well, you still can't see up here where I want you to see. So we'll do this. Well, we've already got marigolds and some zinnias planted in there, but I wanted to drop some of these red poppy. I think that'll be pretty to get red poppies growing. And that camera's just in the way right there. It's just not going to work. The wind's blowing my hair. But I'm going to try some of this white asylum. It's carpet of snow is what it's called. Columbine, because I used all my other seed. I'm going to put some columbine in here. If the wind don't blow the seed away. And again, I'm just dropping it in there because their seeds are so small. The first time I water it, it's going to brush it right down between the dirt. Yeah, I'm going to have me a bouquet of flowers if they all come up in here. I think that'll be pretty. And I remembered to take my strawberry seed out of the freezer today. Put it up there and I actually forgot about it. So there we got red poppy, white asylum, zinnias, marigolds, moonflowers. Maybe some of it will come up and bloom. Checking my rose bushes again this morning. They're looking good. Yep, they're looking good. See, this is that wild flower that is all over my yard. And it is pretty when it blooms because it's got those pretty purple flowers. They don't last very long, but it does put out flowers. But it grows wild here. There's that rose bush. But most of this stuff is wildflowers that I've got all throughout my yard. That's one reason I don't care if I mow. Because over the years, I've thrown tons of wildflower seeds out here in this yard. I couldn't get grass to grow because of all the rocks and everything. And I didn't want to have to keep it watered. So over the years, I've thrown out tons and tons of wildflower seeds. So in the spring of the year, I have tons of wildflowers coming up in my yard. Okay, I don't know where my top went to this pot. Oh, there it is. The wind blew it away. Just put it inside the door, that way it won't get blowed out. And there goes the mint in that big tub. And see there, I never even covered those. They died down, but they came right back up. The cold didn't kill them. And I've got more of it growing outside the pot down there. I think that some of it must have went to seed and threw seeds out. I don't think this belongs in here. That's a weed. I do have weeds coming up. But see, you can build your totes one spring to plant in them. They'll be breaking down while your plants are growing. And there's all these rose bushes that are looking good that we planted the other day. Those are the ones we rooted. And the 3 over here on this side. And all my rose bushes back here are looking good. They're starting to put out new growth. And look at there. And I was just out here, what, a day or so showed you this? It's put on an inch or so of growth in a day. And those have too. They're all starting to grow. Look at the greener top on it. So I got to remember not to cut my onions off too short. I need to, plant them. And I need to harvest these. Give everything else space to grow. But like I said, when I pull it, I got to pull the whole clump, because one of them won't come up without that whole clump right there coming up. So the very next time, which maybe when I make pizza, I'll come out here and pull that up. And I went ahead and moved my other onions out here. Because I don't know, I may need to replant some of the onion seed in there. Because a lot of it died back. But I need to go ahead and reseed it. But all this stuff is still looking good. Look at that. Those Brussels sprouts. They're looking pretty. They're just telling me to break my leaves and eat me. And I went ahead and moved that aloe vera out so it would be getting used to being outside. And like I said, I need to take it out of the pot and clean it up and then repot it, put it back in the pot. I mean, it'll grow just like that, but, it does need to be done because of all the bad-looking part that froze through the winter. We'll do that one day. I don't want to mess with it today. And there goes my cilantro down there. I'm going to have several pots of cilantro. I'm trying to keep it out of the direct sun because that direct sun here gets too hot, even in the morning. So as long as it gets sunlight, like those tomato plants are doing. You got my dwarf bush tomato come up right there. And that's a bell pepper that I got my finger pointed to. I think that's my first bell pepper that's come up. My basil's doing good in that little pot. And finally, I've got a sprout coming up in that little square pot. And look at there. My sweet banana peppers is breaking the ground. The seed are. They have germinated and they're starting to come up. So it just goes to show you, give them a little bit of time and they will come up. And I've had to add water to the bottom of the tote. Switch hands here. I've had to add water to it. Because it's really been sucking up the water these warmer days. And oh man, that tie up on my little door works so much better than the way the designers had it. Missed off my little... Yeah, but I hope they produce me at least a couple of nice plants. But it just goes to show you, you don't have to plant potatoes if you want potatoes. Just throw your peeling in your compost and sooner or later you're going to get a potato plant come up in the dirt. So, and I'm not sure what that is right there. It's some kind of seed that was put in there that's coming up. And I know that's not a little onion. I don't know what that is. I mean, I've got 4 or 5 onions there, but that's not an onion. Almost looks like a pea vine. And I'm tickled to death over all these little onions that come up on their own. I didn't even have to plant them. Look at that. All of those right there. All of them came up from that plant right there. Those onions. Because I let them go to seed. Because I was going to leave them in the ground till I got ready to eat them. And I'd been harvesting some of the tops, but some of them went to seed, dropped seed. And them onions come up all over the pot. So that's good. I'll have plenty of onions this year. And then I'll be able to take those other onions, those big onions, like the red ones and the other yellow onions, as soon as they get big enough, and separate them and plant them individually. And I'll at least triple my onions just from those onion bottoms. So I think that's a neat thing. I don't know, my little buddy took off. Let's see if he's around here. But we all know when it gets hot, starts warming up in Texas, it gets too hot. And I got stuff coming up here. That looks like a potato plant right there. And that was from last year's compost. I haven't put any compost in there this year. Yeah, I'm ready to start planting stuff. I want to get some eggplant out. No, he took off. He must have went to visit someone else. Here's my peppermint. I got tree limbs, little ones falling, breaking off, and look at that. Throw it back here because that can go in some more of the tubs when I go to fix the dirt in them. It can go in the very bottom. But see those right there? That's the one I showed you on the other side of the yard that has the purple flowers. And that you don't have to worry about watering them. They will live. They come up every year. So I put a few of them in right with my daylilies and my daffodils. Put some right back there. In this pot, I don't know. I think that's little oak trees coming up from oak seeds that dropped or something. It's not any kind of plant that I want in here. Get something else planted in there for this summer. I don't know what yet. Don't even know if I'm going to leave it here. I may move it somewhere else. But my little mums that I put in there didn't make it because they weren't rooted enough. That was a plant coming right out of that acorn, dried up acorn. So I know that's little oak trees coming up. And if I tried to plant oak trees, I would never be able to get them to live. Flower pot full of oak trees. Isn't that crazy? But I can tell from them top leaves, that's an oak tree. So when you put your flower pots under a tree, don't be surprised if you get the trees coming up in your dirt, especially if it stays wet and moist like this one does. Just have to stay on top of it and keep them pulled out. Because I don't want trees growing in there. And I just got my fingers all in this. Uproot some of those other ones because I don't want them growing in there. And look at there, there's the first rose bushes we planted. That one, that pink bud's fixing to open. I can't wait for my yellow rose of Texas. They're yellow when they first open, and then the bigger they get, the whiter they get. And look at that one. That's beautiful right there. Little rosebud. Camera can't focus on it because the wind won't let it be still. But that's a beautiful little rose. Look at that. The wind just throws all this stuff. And that one's gone, but it'll put out more. It'll have more buds on it. So I think my rose bushes are going to make it. Just keep them watered this summer. Yeah, see my daylilies? All of them are coming up. They're popping up out of the ground. My mums, all that green is mums. I got gladiolas popping up out of the ground back there. There beside the pig. Daylilies coming up there. My daylilies are coming up all here. This is a wildflower, and it does have little bitty purple flowers, but they're not big enough to even notice. So I've tried to keep them pulled out and Give the other stuff time to grow. See, it does put out a little purple. And that's just opening. It does put out a little purple flower. But, and my mom's. And my daylilies back there coming up. And my other bird bath. This is where the kitty was getting his water yesterday. But I have planted tulips, daylilies, and what that is doing in there. Every kind of flower bulb you could think of. And the gladiolas and the daylilies are the ones that come up every year for me here with the mums. The mums do real well here, the purple mums. I've tried putting the other color mums out here, and they'll live okay the first year, but they don't come back the second year. I don't know why. I don't know what the difference in the mum is. That one is more hardier than the other one. See, I got daylilies coming up right there. So I'll have daylilies, mums, maybe even a daffodil or two coming up in the same rock garden with my rose bushes now. And my Mexican plant that's not, it hasn't started putting out green yet. But that's the Mexican plant. It comes back every year. And for the life of me, I've got to look it up and see what it's called because I don't remember. And that one right there. I've got quite a few of them around in the yard, but they're not. It takes it a little bit longer for those to come back. There's one right there. And I've got several out here in the big rock garden. But they haven't popped up out of the ground yet, not the green part of them. So we'll see. And my poor crepe myrtles, they always look dead. And then all of a sudden, as soon as the weather starts warming up, they'll start putting out these growths. But right now they look dead, don't they? Every one of them looks dead. But in the first few years that I planted them, I just knew they were all dead. I was about ready to dig them up and put something else there. And then all of a sudden, they started putting out leaves. And I said, well, I guess I'll leave them. Because it looks to me like they're alive. So I left them. And look at all this coming up around my pot because it gets moisture. And I put wood chips there to stop that, but eventually they grow up through the wood chips. Or either the seed that the wind blows over will land in the wood chips and eventually it'll come up. See, all that is wildflower seeds that I had planted. Well, I didn't plant it, I just threw it out in the yard. It's coming up everywhere. Got a bunch of it coming up in here. And that thing has covered up my little ladybug. And I got to work on my little totem pole because it's solar. And usually now if I push the button just right, the light will come on. But something happened when I took the thing out to put the new battery in that it doesn't come on and off now. It doesn't come on automatically at night like it is supposed to. So I don't know what happened to that. And I don't know really what to do to it to fix it. Yeah, see, most of this is wildflowers that are coming up right at the edge of my rock garden. just from the seeds that fell out of the rock garden this past year. And I guess I could get the mower out just long enough to mow that little section. And maybe around the few pots and rocks. But I don't have enough grass in the yard right now to mow. So I haven't messed with it. Yeah, I don't know what else I'm going to do this lazy Saturday. But if I decide to do anything else on a bird bath platform, I'll do another video on it so you can see. And see all these wildflowers coming up under my rose bush. I mean, that's better than grass, I guess, but I really didn't want all this coming up under my rose bushes. So, but at least my rose bushes is alive, putting out new growth. And I really need to trim that back so it'll thicken up at the bottom and come back up. Like that big one there, it's coming out. And you can tell I haven't trimmed it back all the way down to the bottom very often because it's not very thick at the bottom. I've trimmed it maybe a foot or two off the ground a couple of times, and it thickened up that thick, but I haven't cut it back enough, so it's growing tall, which that's really what I want these out here to do, is grow tall, to help cover up my pots and what's going on in the backyard. And there's more of that baby breath that I don't want in there. I think it's pretty when it's blooming. It has the white flowers on it, but like I said, it's got those little fuzzy seed pods on it. And if you walk by and it touches your sock or your shoes or your pants leg, it just jumps right over there on you, and you can't. It's hard to get those things off. I mean, it's unreal. So see there, that shows you you can buy a rose bush. And I started out basically with that big rose bush and a couple down on the other side of the patio. And over the years, I've cut cuttings and rooted more, and I've ended up with a whole row of them up there. I've got a whole row of rose bushes here. I've got rose bushes going to the back of the house here, 3 of them back here. And now look, the newest ones that we just put out. We put out at 10 rose bushes from cuttings so far. And I anticipate that I'll get a couple more, not many more, but I'll get a few more out of the cuttings that I've got in the totes right now. But yeah, the walking onions, they come up every year. You can harvest the greens, but as long as you don't pull up the onion, you leave that little bulb in the ground, it'll come back up every year. And I'll show you again when it does it. I think I showed you in one video how the baby seeds or the baby onions will actually walk up the stalk and eventually come out the top. And it'll be a little bulb like of a cluster of little baby onions. And you can either harvest those and eat them, or do like I do, leave them and let them dry, and then you just break off that little cluster of onions, break them apart, throw them down, and replant them. That's what I did with this little dish pan here. I had a little cluster of onions from one of my other plants. And remember, we broke them apart, and I put them in the dish pan. And this is what survived. I've got 2 of them here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little onion plants that survived from what I planted last year. And they'll produce more this year that I can take off and replant. And actually leave the original plant so you don't have to pull that up. This is looking good. Really looking good. Swiss chard. I couldn't remember what I planted in there, but it's Swiss chard. And that's a flower coming up in there. Don't want that in there. I'll replant some of my melons, I think, in there this year. In a week or two. Because usually I start planting seeds and stuff about the 12th of this month. And then later, about another week or so, after that I'll start putting out tomato plants and pepper plants and that type of thing. So it's not going to be long. And I need to come out here and move some more of that wood, those wood chips back to the garden area on the ground to get rid of some of those weeds and things that come up in there. And like I said, I like putting it around my plants, not only to keep weeds from growing right then, but it also, when it rains or you water your plants, it keeps all the dirt from splattering up on your plant. And I'll do that again in the buckets. There's my buddy. There's my buddy. I'll do it again in the buckets as soon as I get planted this year. There's a little buddy. I don't know where he went. Probably go visit another neighbor. Yeah. He probably went to go visit another neighbor. Did you go visit another neighbor? Oh, Lordy. Well, come on around here. Yeah. Well, you go under my chair. I can't see you. And I can't stand on my head. There you go. Little YouTube star. He's my YouTube star. If he wouldn't stay under my feet all the time, you could see him. Yeah. Little buddy's becoming a YouTube star. He's a YouTube star. Yes, he is. He's a YouTube star. He's a YouTube star. Back under my chair again. He makes circles. He makes circles under my chair. Well, come on out. Can't see if you're under me. Yeah, I can't see if you go under me. Back under my chair. He said, well, I'll just get loving up against the tables and the chairs. And my pants or my leg. Come on back over here. Where are you? Where'd you go? Oh, he's sitting down back there. No wonder I couldn't see you. You went behind me and sat down on the ground behind me. Couldn't see you back there. Couldn't see you back there. Yeah, I couldn't see you back there. I couldn't see you back there. No. You don't even know, little buddy, that you're a YouTube star. No, you don't. You don't even know that you're a YouTube star. He's a pretty little YouTube star. Yeah, I'll have stuff planted all in these pots too. I'm about ready to separate peppermint and put it in other pots and give it away or sell it or something. I'm getting too much peppermint. But it's pretty when it grows. Birds are out this morning at the feeders. And my little buddy's here. It's a wonder he don't try chasing the birds. He probably gave up. He probably figured it was too hard to catch him, so he gave up. Getting some water off the lid? You getting water off of the lid? I think I could probably put my flowers back up here on the table now. The wind's not blowing that hard today. Keeps blowing these flowers off of the table though. I mean, I think made a pretty pot of flowers. Beautiful. I just figured it looked so much like spring. Well, it's not going to open by itself, little buddy. You know it's a door, but you know it's not going to open by itself. Where are you going? Huh? Kitty, where are you going? Where are you going? I bet he's going around to the swing to get up on his little bed. Probably exactly where he's going. Let's go see. No, he didn't. I don't know where he went. He's disappeared. There he is. Right under my feet. He must have been hiding under the table where I didn't see him. He was hiding under the table where I didn't see him. Where are you going? Whew. Where are you going? Little buddy? Where are you going, huh? Man, you it's like being on a racetrack trying to keep up with you. You're just here, there, and everywhere, going around in circles and can't keep up with you. Can't keep up with you, little buddy. Kitty, kitty. He says, I'm always around if you're going to pay attention to me. Yeah. Say, I'm always around if you're going to pay attention to me. Yes, you are. You want to get up here? You want to get up on your bed? Come on. Come on, get up here. There you go. There you go. Now maybe I can film you without you just going all over the yard. But you're going to put your back to me. People don't want to see your backside. Turn around. There you go. There you go. My hands are all dirty where I was digging in that flower pot. I need to go wash my hands. Isn't that a face to love? Say, isn't that a face to love? He's going to put his back to me. He said, that's what I think about that. Yeah, he says, that's what I think about that. Here a couple of years ago, he come over here and he scratched up my original seats under here. You can see how they're shredded almost, or they got rips in them. That's where this little kitty cat come up here and he would just claw on them. So after a while, I noticed I didn't see him clawing on them anymore, so I bought the new cushions and put new cushions right over the old ones. Because the other ones are fastened so that you'd have to like cut them off of the frame. And I said, well, they're all right. I'll just leave them there. See the tear there that he did? So I just bought the new ones and put them right on top of the original ones. And I said that makes it a little bit softer. At least I haven't seen him tearing up the new ones yet. So hopefully he won't. Hopefully he's out of the clawing stage and he won't do that anymore. They can be a little destructive, you know, just being little cats doing what they do, but it's all right. We got new cushions on them and they look good. Where you going? Where you going? Kitty, kitty? Where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you going? Yep, that's a face to love. Say, that's a face to love. He said, well, I came over here. You better pet me. He said, you better give me some loving since I came back over here. Man, that wind is blowing leaves everywhere. That's why I didn't come out here and sweep this walk off yesterday, because I knew this wind wasn't done. And I could come out here, clean this walk off, not have a leaf on it, and in 30 minutes time, it would be covered with leaves again, because the wind would blow them right back over here. So I'll wait till a day when the wind has calmed down before I try to clean off the leaves off the sidewalk. Kitty, kitty, where'd you go? He's over behind the grill somewhere. Kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty, kitty. There he comes. He knows Kitty Kitty if he don't know his name. He knows Kitty Kitty. Yes, he does. He knows Kitty Kitty. Yeah, he'll come when you say Kitty Kitty. Maybe I should call him Kit. Maybe I should call him Kit. Now where are you going? I can't reach you over there. I cannot reach you over there. Now where is he going? To get him some water? Let's see. Yeah, that's what he's fixing to do. He's going to get him some water, I think. No? He's walking around it. Yeah, there he is. He's just like the birds. He wants water too. He was thirsty. Yeah, he was thirsty. A little buddy's been around here for several years. He's not, I mean, he just didn't come this year. He was probably around here since he was a grown kitten. He might have been a year old when I first saw him. Watching the traffic. Well, kitty. See, he knows kitty. Little buddy. Kitty. Little buddy. He says, well, I'll come see what you want, but he says, I know you ain't going to do much. He says, I'll walk over there and see if you're going to love on me a little bit more. Yeah. He says, I'll come over here and see if you're going to love on me some more. I can't keep you on the camera, though. You keep moving. Yeah, you keep moving. You want to swing? You want to swing? Yeah. He's a sweetheart. I gotta back the camera up. Can't see your face. You're too close to it now. It's gonna be a beautiful day. Beautiful, lazy Saturday for me, I think. I usually try to take one day off from the garden and the yard. Just be lazy. He's either too close to me or he gets underneath my chair so I can't see him. Said I'm gonna lay here right now because the sun's shining in my bed, so they like laying in the sun. I could sit out here and just pet you all day, but I would not get anything done. Probably not going to get much done today anyway, since it's Saturday. I would try to set the camera up down in front of him, but just as sure as I bend over to put the camera in front down there on the ground, he'll get up and take off. He's happy. He's laying there just flapping that tail. Yeah, he's happy. A cat's life. He's gonna go to sleep. He likes being petted. You know a cat's happy when he's laying there gonna sleep with his little tail flapping around. You know they're happy when they're doing that. Well, I guess I should end this video. I've been on here for an hour already. We'll go in the house, wash my hands, and let little buddy take his nap. And like I said on my last videos, thanks for hanging out with me today. I need lots more subscribers, so please don't hesitate. Subscribe to my channel, hit the little bell so you'll get notifications on my videos when I post them. And you'll get to see a little bit more of my little buddy here. And like I said, like, share, subscribe to my videos. Y'all have a blessed day, and I'll see you on my next video.